Hello everyone, it's the Instant Match Reaction Show, slightly less than instant. Tom's poorly and he's got a lot of work on tonight, so we thought we'd let him do a little bit of his work, and we sat around for a few minutes and it was absolutely fine. Welcome, thank you for joining us live for this one. If you are, if you listen to it after the fact, perhaps the morning after, on your commute to work, Liverpool beat Porto 5-1 in the drag-out. What? Yeah, not great.
Great for our audio listeners.
Not great for the people listening to the podcast. Former Chris has just basically flipped me the bird. This is what happens when you record late with a man who's had a very busy day. It was a beautiful, beautiful game of football and
delicious.
Yeah, delightful. Pick your superlatives. It was just great, and it was mad because we were sat at half time going, we've been the better team. I don't really feel like we've had to really exert ourselves massively. We're 2 goals up. I wrote something just then. The way I expressed it was, we've worked a lot harder for less.
Yeah.
And Brentford was a great example of that, where we were dead good in attack throughout the whole game, but I don't think we gave them a minute's peace today. At 2-0 up, I said, like, we need another goal. And we'll need another goal. And you were dead right. But Liverpool decided they were having another goal, and then they decided they were going to have another goal after that, and another goal after that. There was a ruthlessness to how they then went through the gears as the game went on.
It was just a bit mad, wasn't it? I mean, like, take the goals out the game. It was not a 5-1er. It didn't feel like a 5-1er because everything just came so easy to us. It's hard to put your finger on it in that regard. Like, the first 2 goals...
Should it be harder to be a 5-1er?
No, probably not. I don't know, Paul. Yeah. It's just like the first 2 goals were just gimmies, weren't they? It's like the keeper should have done better. The play's brilliant by Jones, but it's not a great shot. Mm-hmm. The defender has a chance to clear it and manages to hit it back towards goal and right to the most lethal man on the pitch. And then the second goal, the goalkeeper comes out with his nipples to grab the ball instead of his hands.
I genuinely am not sure what he thought was going to happen in that situation, unless he thinks that he's got some sort of venom like symbiote that's going to reach out from his chest and grab hold of it.
In which case, the venom like symbiote is asleep.
Yeah. It's given or fictional, as it turns out, in that regard. In fact, I got a super chat about him here from Le Chill saying Diogo Costa to take the #1 shirt at Everton. Porto have become our continental Norwich. Oopsie. Sit back, have a beer, enjoy being red. Jess, thank you so much, mate. I'm pretty sure if we do that to them 2 more times in their own garden, we get to keep them.
I hope so.
Yeah, we get to keep Porto because, like,
just use it for like what?
I don't know. Just we
do we get the stadium?
Yeah, it's a bit like we put them in the museum, mate. Like alongside that 5th European Cup. Yeah. Like, it's like they're ours for keeps.
Porto fans be like, that was the football team that I loved
come to visit us,
my entire life.
It's a bit like when like Man United go on about that winning the trophy in 1999, the European Cup, and we literally have that one in our museum. So if they want to visit that famous European Cup, they have to come to our museum to see it. And it's a bit like that. If we do that twice more at the drag-out, then UEFA have to give Porto FC to us to do.
Well, we've been looking for a feeder club for a while, I think.
Yeah. We changed them into red.
Like that. That works well when you change the club's colours. I've seen that before. It always goes really well.
Yeah, we'll be like the Vincent Tan of European football. Yeah.
Well, Paul said it was okay.
Not me,
Paul,
mate.
who?
UEFA have to determine that we own Porto if we beat them 2 more times at the drag-out. So convincingly, certainly. Look, we've managed to go this long, basically because I wasn't sure how we didn't have this not be the Curtis Jones show, because we saw the Curtis Jones show earlier on, and it was glorious. And it's mad how I saw there was a lad actually who I had to unfollow on Twitter over the summer because he made some really fucking stupid comment about Curtis Jones. It was like really stupidly passive aggressively offensive to how good Curtis Jones, like, just basically like really like off the cuff about him being out. It was just something I can't even afraid. It made me so angry. It was a bit like that stupid lad who made that comment about Divock and Klopp's legacy the other week. I've seen a couple of things that have made me just think, like, I would, if someone said that in a pub, you deck them because it's such a blindly stupid thing to say. So I love the fact that people like that exist, and Curtis Jones has that level of ability. And I love the fact that there's people who for some reason, have decided they don't think he's good enough. This small idiot minority, and I love they have to live in this world, because Curtis Jones is fucking brilliant.
He is brilliant, and listen, I probably like him more than most people, and Scousers will like Scousers. It's something that us as Liverpool fans, we want to see. Just like in every football club in the world, the fans want to see someone from their city get into their football club and do well. It's just something that, as a Scouser, I'm allowed to want to happen. I want him to be brilliant, but I'm not just wanting now, I'm seeing him be brilliant. And it doesn't matter where he's from or what name's on the back of his shirt. He's to me, like, you know, whether people think I'm overhyping him or whatever, I don't care. I think he's a really good footballer. He's 20 years old. He's come into one of the best sides. It's just like what a lot of people would think biased when it comes to Liverpool and biased to Scousers in the team. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
It means more. It means more. It does. It has to, because there's something about... There's no story in it, and there's different types of story, because there's something about a lad being from hundreds, thousands of miles away, and you see the Salah story and look where he's come from and how he's got himself to this position. It's a beautiful story, but there are a few stories quite as beautiful as someone who grows up in a city and gets to play for their local football team, and their local football team happens to be right at the pinnacle of footy, and therefore they're playing in all these biggest matches. We've seen it with Trent already. It's absolutely glorious that Trent Alexander-Arnold has a European Cup winners medal, and he's got a Premier League winners medal, and it's not just making up the numbers along the way, because God knows we've had some false dawns, but like Curtis Jones is special. Like, he's got something.
We did the podcast this morning. Wow, 12 hours and 50 minutes ago, I think it started. And we were asked the question of, like, who's your favourite player of all, Liverpool player? Now, the three lads that I think I mentioned, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? But that's it. Who the lads that you mentioned?
Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler was yours. And but yet we all agreed after the fact that Suarez is the most special player we've watched play. And probably the best player that we've seen
it's
play.
Just it's important because again, particularly given and also for loads of generalised reasons, because you want good young players coming through. I don't care. Like, I want Nico Williams to really succeed. He's not a Scouser, but he's a young lad coming through the academy. I want us to have the best young talent. I want the academy to be like La Masia. I want like us to have this steady string of lads who are just good enough to play for the first team. I'm not asked really if they're like the best player in the team, but right now, again, you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's the best right back in world football, and he's come through Liverpool's academy. Cost us nothing. Like, it's such a gimme when you've got lads who can do that. Look at what Chelsea had for years with John Terry. I know he came roundabout, but he was there for that long. They bought Lampard in, but again, you've got these when you feel like you've got a local homegrown edge to what you do. And again, even it matters as well being English and British, and because the rules are geared. Well, the rules are geared towards having those lads in your side, and it also means that we've got a better chance of going out and getting the best other lads in the world as well to add to them, because Dan Kennett was doing a point about like how much does this midfielder cost, and they had like a stats comparison, and he basically compared Curtis Jones' stats to Naby Keita's stats, and not for nothing, but Naby Keita's a £45 million footballer, and right now Curtis Jones is playing better than him when he's playing in games. Now that's by the by, Kurt might have ups and downs. He's still a young lad. The point that I'm trying to make with this is that
he saved you 43. Let's say if 2 million's his development over the time he's been, which is probably still really, really high.
Absolutely,
and he's probably on less wages as well.
Absolutely, and that point to go and buy someone that good to come into your squad is going to cost you dough. People have been going on about all summer about the midfielders like Yves Bissouma and Florian Neuhaus, and like Salah, really good player, but we've seen already in like one or a very limited performances for Chelsea, and he'll get better. But like, I would rather have had Curtis Jones has done more this season for Liverpool than Salah's done for Chelsea this season. And again,
tonight's performance though was like, I hope that that's the start of what we see from him, because I've seen good performances from him last season. I thought he did a job. He was functional in his midfield play. In this midfield, in the way that he played it today, he was more than just functional. He was himself. He was playing with a freedom that he felt tonight like he belonged. And he's on the biggest stage, and they're no mugs, Porto. I know I had a little laugh about it at the end of the watch along and stuff, but they're not mugs. These are good footballers, and he's taken the absolute biscuit.
Yeah, Curtis Jones, just for by the way, because this has been coming. This isn't like out of nowhere, because he has never failed to impress me on the pitch for Liverpool. He's had games maybe, and I don't really. I'm saying this, but I can't think of them, and maybe some people watching might be able to give me examples. But also, who's asked? It's for the point I'm trying to make. He has looked every inch a Liverpool player. He's grown game and game. I think this is like it's 3 seasons, I think, since he made his debut. Because I was looking back at it, like Harvey Elliott's debut was 2 years ago against MK Dons in the League Cup, and that wasn't. Curtis Jones played that game, but it wasn't his debut for Liverpool. I think he got it the season earlier in one of the cup games or whatever. But the point is that he's been building and building and building. I look at last season. I just got his stats up here: 34 appearances in all comps he made for us last year, 4 goals and 5 assists. For a lad who he had to play more games, he played more consecutive games than he probably should have done for his development. But we're actually looking at a lad now who you would not have, if you were a football fan but you didn't know Liverpool, and I asked you to go and pick out who the 20-year-old was in Liverpool's team tonight, you'd have been very hard pressed from a distance to know that it was Curtis Jones. He is, and this is the thing about him. He comes in and he just looks tailor-made for this Liverpool team. Confident, brilliant on the ball, progressive with his passing, dynamic with his running as well. He never get a game where he just goes, I get it and I'm moving on.
No, he doesn't do that. And I mentioned on the player rating show, the biggest thing for me was in winning that ball back for Salah's goal. It's the pressing trigger that he sees. It's a poor touch, and he's on it like a flash. Bang, we're going to win that ball. What do we do now? Drive forwards, edge of the penalty area. See Salah there, another little assist for him. Even what was the assist for Bobby Firmino? I mean, how many times did it look like he was going to lose the ball, but he didn't? Could have maybe made a risky back pass to the goalkeeper when he just about got out of it. No. Backed himself, trusted himself, and then hoofed the ball up the pitch for the best goal of the night.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And again, just for out of interest, 5 appearances for us so far this season, 1 goal, 3 assists already. And again, this is a lad who started the season 278 minutes of football.
So 4 goal involvements in 270 minutes.
Yeah,
nice. 1.25 per 90 or something like that.
Yeah, that's great stuff. He started the season 7th choice midfielder, 8th choice midfielder, maybe, 7th probably. I think, you're looking at like, we'd have all pegged Fabinho, Thiago.
Well, I wouldn't
Henderson.
have pegged Harvey above him at the start of the season.
Exactly. But when the season starts, I mean, obviously he's injured at the start, but the point is that by the time we start playing games of football, Harvey Elliott is above him in the pecking order. Obviously, Oxlade-Chamberlain starts the season as well. Naby Keita starts the season for us as well. He's well down there.
Here's the other thing. Young lads improve quite rapidly. Yeah. And football players improve for a long time. But Curtis Jones just seems to have come out this season and been like, I am taking a Liverpool shirt this season. I don't care whose it is. I'm not asked. Yeah. But I'm taking 1 Liverpool shirt off somebody this season.
Look, Chris, in the last week...
Play him against City?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I don't think he will, but I think he should. He's just gone. Done a job for us in the 6 away at Norwich in the League Cup, which is not his position, and Jurgen Klopp was keen to stress it as well. He's gone out and done a job for the team. His position, no, but he was also our best midfielder on the night as well, which is funny. He went out there, had a good game by all accounts, then goes and plays in his more favoured position at the weekend, and then he goes and he stays in for Porto. And you can't. He's just great. Very, very good indeed. There's loads of other players in it. All had decent performances.
Have you got the Carl Clemens tweet here on your laptop from Ross and WhatsApp? And I'll start reading it as you get that up onto the screen, mate.
Get it.
So we've got 26 goals in their 9 opening fixtures to a top flight season, equals Liverpool's record, which was set 99 years ago in 1922. They only matched once during the first 9 games of the 2016-17 season.
Yeah, we said this about records or signs on the pathway to success. And we've had a few of those already. Loads of those, like Liverpool's opening games, Liverpool's unbeaten runs, Liverpool's wins, amounts of goals scored away from home, 18 unbeaten. I think right it's like now? The most time. Yeah.
Mad that.
Yeah.
Mad. And we shit, apparently.
Funny that,
18 unbeaten.
Yeah. It's obscene how good we are. I want to just talk, we haven't got loads of time for .com. Andy Robbo, another one for whom, got a little bit of criticism at the weekend. Probably his worst Liverpool performance in a while, actually, to be honest. He was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, he was, mate. Up and down that left-hand side, as you'd expect. Defensively, don't think... It's the one thing that I would have pegged maybe over the last few weeks. The Costas does slightly better. I think Robbo's crossing's been a little bit down for him. Tonight, it was back there. It's that opportunistic crossing, isn't it? Where it's passed to and he hits it first time. They're the ones that you love to see from Robbo, where everybody in the box is running onto his cross. That's brilliant. When he gets to the byline, maybe not quite as good. Maybe Porto played into his hands a little bit tonight. But you've got to be there to take it away as well.
Yeah, he was just brilliant. His constant energy. Again, that left-hand side for Liverpool was brilliant, and him and Curtis had a great game. Hitch and Baz with the super chat saying, do you guys think Jones will become the new Gerrard? Easy. Already think he should have a shout for the number 8. Look, he's followed the progression. He's got the 17 shirt at the moment, which is obviously Gerrard went 28 to 17 and then to 8 eventually. Look, again, tonight's definitely the night for getting carried away on Curtis Jones. So let's all get carried away and say what a brilliant talent he is. It does make me think though about Steven Gerrard when he was young and breaking, and he had obviously had loads of injury problems, so he was really
and a skinhead.
Yeah, he really struggled for consistent football in the early days. I honestly wonder how a lot of Liverpool fans would react if Gerrard got to repeat his time again, and it went the way that it did in terms of his availability and his fitness and how
his back injury. It was his back growing up, wasn't it?
He had growing problems, didn't he? And initially took him a long while to get over that.
Nowadays. People will just fume all the time.
Yeah, and he was quite. I mean, look, he had those highlight moments. He'd stick a thunderbolt in, of course, and he had that all energy, and we loved that thing. But he was a bit rash and a bit reckless. And he had a little bit of a snarl to him and stuff. I mean, this goal in the Merseyside derby and sticking the tongue out and all that kind of stuff. It's funny because he's a completely different Gerrard to the one that people associate with being Stevie. But I do wonder, what I would say on it is that team that Gerrard came into, particularly when it was around the treble winning season, that was a very good Liverpool team, and the couple of years that followed it as we built up to getting back into the Champions League. But this Liverpool team is better.
It's harder to break into.
Yeah, exactly. And I know it's a bit circumstantial, but the point is like he's not just there to make the numbers up. No. He's not just coming in, and we've said this all the time, sometimes you need lads to just come in and play 7. And if Curtis Jones just came in and played at 20 years old, was putting in 7s out of 10 for Liverpool, we should actually be made up with that, because that's phenomenal for that age. But he's not. He's actually playing 8s and 9s, and I'm you get a 10 to take. I mean, like if he scores, I think it's a nailed on 10. But there's also what really more can he do in the game? Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, very very promising indeed. The Adrenaline blog with 17.99 AEDs, no idea. Please check this stat out and reflect on it. From 100 Salah Premier League goals for LFC, 46 do not have an official assist.
Salah's? Yeah. Doesn't surprise me, actually.
That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I mean, Kurt's trying his best tonight to grab a couple of... To
be fair, like... That first one, I think I said on the ratings, he probably walks away with 2 assists after the fact there, Kurt, not 4. Yeah. I'm still giving him them, don't get me wrong. But the keepers pushed it forwards, the defenders then kicked it back. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. That one.
You know what I mean?
Therefore, slightly more. The one for Bobby's one that was given on VAR is probably slightly more straightforward path to him, but only just, but regardless, whatever. Great fact on Mo Salah, by the way, who is eight goals in 8 games for Liverpool so far this season. We're looking at a man at the peak of his powers, absolutely, he's shoulder to shoulder, I'll say, with anyone else on the planet right now in terms of the best players in world football. He's unreal. And the best thing about it is you've got that happening, and he was doing that last season. He dragged us through last season almost single-handedly, with obviously Nat and resetting things away behind him for love and money. But what we've got now is that plus Jota's ticking along okay, and I think there's well more to come from Jota. Mane seems to be finding his feet more than, he looked lost for times last season, but he seems to have largely picked up where he finished the season. And Bobby Firmino's back in now and just scored two more goals. We had a look at his stats. I wonder if I still got them up. Yeah, Bobby Firmino,
10 goals in 11 minutes.
Five appearances for Liverpool, 3 goals. But that's in real terms is 3 goals in 125 minutes of football for us.
That's like better than Aguero's.
Yeah. That's better. Literally, that's better than Messi's goal game when he was scoring 60 goals a season at this point. So no, that's the point. We are a fraction of the way into the season right now, and that point about how many goals Liverpool scored and bodes very, very well, because it also feels like I don't feel like we're playing at our absolute.
No. The goals thing is mad because, like, we've talked about it for a few weeks now. Is that midfield's playing differently, and yeah, we conceded 3 at the weekend, and we can't forget that. But they were all a bit mad as well. A little bit 17-18 Liverpool goals conceded or whatever, maybe slightly earlier. But it doesn't look like teams are going to be able to stop us scoring anymore. And that's really nice.
Absolutely. Brenton Ray, to wrap us up here, says 14% of Liverpool's UEFA Champions League goals under Jurgen Klopp have been scored away against FC Porto. 14%. It was like the stat of like 10% of Mane's entire Liverpool goals came against Crystal Palace. 14%. Yeah, that's good, that, isn't it? Very good. Right, we're going to wrap that up there. Man.
Keep drawing them. Let's let them get through so we can tonk them in the quarters.
Yeah, we don't really have a great say in that, but
if we've got another game against them. Yeah, we always draw the second game, though. We always let them off.
The second to last.
The home game against Porto, because we're just like, sorry, lads. Yeah. Embarrassing.
Well, we normally cock up that second to last group game so that we don't have a dead rubber in the last game, so you never know.
Well, if you have a dead rubber in the last game, you get Jota injured, it's fine.
Oh, God, don't do that. Right, that is the instant match reaction done. The final word, though, comes with a little bit more thought and consideration, live streaming on the redmentv.com tomorrow. So if you want to talk about that game in more depth and detail, you can do. Sign up to the redmentv.com right now. It is our Liverpool streaming service.
We'll be back in 11 hours.
I know, God, yeah. And also, don't forget that the match day experience from Porto, Sire's over there, our man on the ground in New Anfield, and he will be delivering.
He'll be lying on the ground about now, he's probably covered in beer.
Yeah, definitely. But he's going to be editing when he picks himself up, and that will be streaming exclusively as part of our new series, the match day experience, on the redmentv.com. In the meantime, you can go back and check out episodes 1 and 2, which are from Chelsea and AC Milan. 2 really good in-depth vlogs to really get your sense of what it's like to be a Liverpool fan at a Liverpool game. That's there for you. So yeah, enjoy. If you haven't checked out the rest of the post-match content, do. And if you want more from us again, sign up right now on the redmentv.com. We'll be back for the final word show in the morning. Ta-ra. Thanks so much for checking out the show this week. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, then do. But if you want more from us, extra Redmen shows, then go to the redmentv.com. You can support the channel at 2 levels, by Club Captain or Club Legend tier. Both get you a full suite of Liverpool-related content, extra Redmen shows, documentaries, features, and world-exclusive interviews. And Club Legends get their names here and on the end of those videos, and free merchandise as well. Perfect time to sign up on the redmentv.com.